First, we'll have Ken Ellis, who's the father of Ken Ellis III, who was shot and killed by APD on January 13th, 2010. And he'll be joined by Steve Torres, whose son Christopher Torres was killed by APD in 2011.
It's the only way anything is going to change is if the policies are enforced and the police officers are held accountable. And that lack of accountability has been severely lacking for the last 10, 15, maybe 20 or more years. If I commit a crime, a serious crime, my case will probably be presented to the grand jury, and a jury of my peers will decide if there's sufficient evidence to warrant the DA's office going forward with prosecuting me. That's the way it's supposed to happen for all of us. If a police officer did something wrong up until about a year ago, his case didn't go to the regular grand jury, it went to a special grand jury. DA Kerry Brandenburg had set up this special grand jury proceeding reserved solely for police officers. This was something that was kept secret. Not even the judges knew about it. When they found out about it, Chief Judge Ted Bach at the time called in the district attorney and said, "What's going on here? What are you doing?" And after he found out what she was doing, he said, "This has got to stop." And he put an immediate stop to that special grand jury proceeding.
The problem with that also was that there was no rebuttal, there was no defense, there was nothing to present to the grand jury from the victim side or the family side. So, you know, it's and that's just one aspect of the system. So they designed this system with the Police Oversight Commission and the, independent review officer. The whole accountability mechanism was nothing more than a farce. It was a lie. It was designed to give the public false perception of accountability. What makes them aggressive? It's the training. It's the way they, it's first of all, they want ex-military. So you got military individuals that have been in war and have been, in combat and have seen and have done things that, and so now we have a soldier that's now wearing a blue uniform, and now we have a soldier that's out there in our community, and the only thing he knows how to do is kill. He don't know how to negotiate. He don't know how to do anything but use his weapon.
And we've done the research. We've done a lot. We've done a heck of a lot of research. Chief Galvin was making progress during his administration. Unfortunately, as soon as he left, the situation just kept going and started to escalate even worse than it was before. But that was his job, identified by Mayor Jim Baca 15 years ago. We need to do something about this warrior mentality in our police department. So again, this is not a new problem. This is a problem that's been going on for 20, 30 years or more. Take a look at the Walker-Luna report. The Walker-Luna report that was commissioned back in the 96 identified the same problems. We told the mayor, let us help you. Let's figure out a way, whether we put a forum together or a study group or whatever. The mayor recognized that there was a significant problem in the police department, and we told him, we said, let us help you. We've never been invited to sit down and help in any way.
So I'll add to that. So the question was targeted for intimidation. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. They came after me to shut me up because I was in their face big time. They wanted to Mary Hahn me. I don't know if you all knew who that is, but she was murdered by this police department, and those facts will come out eventually. But yeah, absolutely intimidation. Cell phones were acting crazy, computers acting crazy, stuff going on. Couldn't leave the house. I don't care if you went this way or that way. There's a cop at either end of the street. This went on for several months after my son was killed. They literally, used their Stingray. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but that's a device that the police can use to tap your phone anytime, any place, anywhere. They literally confronted me on 4 different occasions. It was just by the grace of God and by divine intervention that they didn't, take me out. Because that's what they do. When someone gets in their face, they eliminate the problem. Yeah, total disregard for our feelings, our family's feelings. Intimidated, absolutely, without a doubt.
I'm sorry, I had forgotten that second part of the question. Likewise, just to give you a couple more examples, we had officers parked at the end of our street also. We had my middle son, Daniel, lives in Rio Rancho. Rio Rancho, that's not even Albuquerque. There was an APD squad car parked down the street from his house for a while. Why? We don't know.
Intimidation.
Couple of curious things that did happen. My neighbor across the street, he's one of these high-tech, geeky kind of guys. He's got a high-tech security system in his house. We don't have anything like that at our house. But he's got one at his house. And he came to me one day and he said, what's all this about? And I said, what are you talking about? Apparently on the recordings that go through his security system, there was something about surveillance van. I don't know what that means, but it sure is curious. Also, just to let you know, I've got a 97 Ford pickup truck. It's been a very good truck for me for 10 years. Curiously enough, about 2 years ago, one of the lug nuts on the right one front wheel came loose. And the tire just comes off the vehicle. Fortunately, I wasn't going very fast. And I thought to myself, well, maybe I just didn't tighten it very well last time I changed it. A couple of months later, the same thing happened all over again. Can I prove that that was APD or somebody? I can't prove it. It's just very curious. It's just very curious. As far as whether or not the system can be fixed, I don't know. I told you I've got several good friends who are police officers or former police officers. I met with one of them. Good friend of mine, Gilbert Nahad, Lieutenant Gilbert Nahad. Gil used to be in charge of training at the APD Academy. He's now teaching criminal justice down at Western New Mexico University. But I met with Gilbert because he had some ideas. You know what his suggestion is? Get rid of APD altogether. It is so broken you can't fix it. It is so broken it cannot be fixed.